Hello, and welcome back to Along This Spiritual Journey. So, whichever connection you choose, may it be monogamous or in a polygamous open relationship or whatever blend of connections you choose, remember it's all about discipline of self. Okay? I see a lot of debate going back and forth over would you be in a monogamous relationship or a polygamous relationship, or people who are in open relationships while they're in a relationship looking for others. There's so many combinations that have been born in the last few years. And I'm a type of person where I respect all choices. But the reality is, people have to remember that this is a discipline of each choice. And how you are disciplined in that choice is going to then dictate your beliefs around how to protect that choice. Now, I always tell people there's nothing wrong with someone standing up for their beliefs, but I'm not going to attack someone else's choice because I don't understand it. What I will say is, I want to make sure that everyone understands to have healthy connections and healthy relationships, no matter who they're with, because you have to first make sure you have that healthy relationship with yourself. When we talk about dating the self, this is the first concept that matters the most. When you are single, you date yourself. So if you are able to take yourself out to dinner, go to that park, go to that concert, go hang out with friends, do things you enjoy doing, that is dating yourself because you're allowing the soul that's incarnated in you to interact with this human flesh and ego and enjoy itself. This when we say, I had a really good day, and you're not thinking about boys or girls or love or anything. You're just thinking about who you are and just what makes you joyful. That's dating yourself when you're single. When you're in a monogamous relationship, I feel it's more about the discipline of saying that I enjoy putting energy into one person. I enjoy knowing that one person allows me to feel safe and interact in this way, and that I love them on so many different levels that, yes, maybe I can't have sex with other people, but there's so many other things about this one person that make up for that. That brings me joy and a play that not most people will understand, but it's a discipline. In polygamous relationships, it's a discipline. You have to learn how to be open enough to love multiple people and have a heart big enough and an ego small enough that they allow yourself to not feel jealous, not over excessive about who they're talking to or what they're doing, but you respect your core people. Remember, polygamy is not about sleeping with everyone. You can do that when you're single. Polygamy is about finding partners that you trust, or finding a partner that you trust, and living your life. And if you guys choose to have open connections and relationship with others, you can do so. But you have to be healthy enough in your being to be okay with your person giving their energy to others, because that's what they're doing. It's not disrespectful if you both agree to it, but you have to be disciplined and self enough to say, we both have enough to give that we can give it to others, but give the majority of it to each other because that is your core base. This is my interpretation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Again, if you're monogamous, it's more about half-seas. If you're a polygamy, it's a multiple, but just saying that you can and you want to. I always say this: as long as you know that if you're in any interaction with anyone sexually, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that you're not draining yourself of essential energy that makes you feel like you're you. When you start feeling like an empty shell and it doesn't feel natural, then you have the answer that matters most, and that is trusting your body and taking yourself out of any situation that makes you feel uncomfortable, whatever it might be. So if you're uncomfortable being single, then you got to go put yourself out there in situations that are going to allow you to just be happy and be you, but also you're okay with stepping outside of places that make you comfortable, because that's where you're going to meet someone. Remember, life begins outside of your comfort zone. In a monogamous relationship, you're always going to see people that you're attracted to and that you find beautiful. But that doesn't mean that you want them physically. You can have sexual thoughts. That doesn't mean that you're going to have sex with them. A human is a human. You're not going to take emotions away. But you do say, I have the discipline and self to say, I have a person at home that even though that person got me going, that person gets me going even more, and that turns me on. And it doesn't matter if it's physical, it's emotional and spiritual. That's why building a home and a house is important. And again, with polygamy, it's the same thing. You get the same thing with the monogamous, but with polygamy, it's about knowing that if your partner is able to go out there and open themselves to someone, and they connect themselves to energy that might not always be healthy, you guys have the core values to bring yourself back and say, listen, this person is not healthy for our connection. They gotta go. And if you both respect that, they'll respect that. If it starts becoming toxic where they're like, well, I love them and I want to keep them, that's when it becomes distorted. That's what most people believe it is. And I don't think that's fair. Most of the time you see people who are really unhealthy, unfortunately, and they're in a toxic codependent relationship, and then they're inviting others in and saying, look at us, this is who we are. To each your own. I prefer to know that if I'm going to ever put myself in a situation where my partner wants to express that energy, I have enough understanding of self to say, if I try this and it doesn't feel right, then I have to walk away from this current situation no matter how long I've invested in it. And if I try this and I like it, then this might be our new thing. And if they don't like it anymore after a certain point, and if this is my core person, then I have to take myself out of that situation. This is how I feel it should go. I don't know how it really goes because I choose to be one of those people where I stay single because I love me. And if I choose to be in a connection, it will be not monogamous because for me, that's all I know. That's all I've been around. I'm old school, and that's a belief. That's not something to say that I can't change later, but it's something that I have experienced in my younger years where I was in a lot of dating situations that were open. And it was enough that I knew that I didn't want that to be my end result because I wanted to always try to discipline myself in being with one person. Again, I don't know what will happen in the future, but at least I know that I can quantify my being of self with that place and not judge others. I think that's what's most important because I always say I can speak on a topic without being biased to others' beliefs, but I want to make sure that the people who are involved at the core are healthy and protective and nurturing and loving, and you understand that there's always a level of healthy communication. There will be disagreements, but it will be talked about and worked out. May it be outwardly or inwardly, that you know how to find balance and keep that homeostasis into the point that your emotions and your ego and your soul all align with what you want and you attract in like energies. I hope that makes sense. Love ya. Mwah.